For nearly a decade, you've been asking Jason questions. But did anyone think to fact check this guy? This is the Audit Jason Show. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercy, and this is the Audit Jason Show, where myself and the lovely and talented director Joe, which I guess you don't ever see. That's why I can lie and call him lovely and talented. Actually, the talented part is self-evident. We go over old videos from Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and we would do TikTok and Musically and whatever other thing used to exist but doesn't anymore. Not that TikTok doesn't anymore. It just used to be called Musically. Did anybody know that? It's the same thing. Yeah. And anyway, kind of like Rakuten. You know the commercials for Rakuten? That used to be... Oh, shoot. I've forgotten. It used to be called something else. Didn't take off. Spagamo. I just reminded myself of Paul Rudd in the movie I Love You, Man. Do you know the movie with Jason Segel? It's Segel, right? Not Seagal. Totally different guy. And they're like riffing off each other and making jokes. And Paul Rudd goes, "I will see you there, or I will see you on another time." And Jason Segel's like, I was really confusing, man. Like, I don't know if you're coming or not. And he's like, I'll go. I'll be there. And he says, "All right, Pistol, see you there." And he's like, "Oh, cool, Pistol." And he's, "Yeah, because Pete, Pistol Pete." And Paul Rudd says, "All right, cool. See you later, Jobin." It's not even close to his name. Anyway, Rush is a big part of that movie. Of course, now Neil Peart, not doing much rushing around these days. However, they have found another drummer, a young woman who is insane. Yes, she's in a hospital. She can't go on tour. No, I'm joking. She's very, very talented. Anyway, can we start again? What happened? Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercy, and this is the Audit Jason Show, where myself and director Joe tear apart old videos on the internet that we used to use the better part of a decade ago to educate people and maybe even try and sell a few homes. This time, we're going over an Ask Jason Show episode about whether or not you should renovate your house and stay there or sell it. This, unless it's terrible, promises to be good. Obviously, if it's not up, it's down, or stays still, there's only so many options. All right, let's just watch it. On this episode, we forgot to do an intro, so I'm phoning it in. Get it? Phone? I'm phoning it in. Oh, that's terrible. This real estate stuff is not easy, so send me your questions. I will answer them. This is the Ask Jason Show. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercy, and this is episode 27 of the Ask Jason Show. Today, we're live on Facebook. I asked the people if they wanted question 1 or question 2. This is really loud to me. Is it loud to you? And that question comes from a buddy of mine. Sometimes he watches. Are you there, Harvey? I was late getting to this one, boss, but this one's for you, Harv. How do I know when I should renovate my house or if I should just sell it and move on to get what I'm looking for? This is mind-blowing, okay? This is mind-blowing. Holy cow. So this episode is probably at least 9 years ago. And this is so weird. So Harvey, still a friend of mine, my friendship's last, and we are currently getting ready to sell his mother's house. Sadly, she passed away a little while ago. And we went out to walk through the house, and there's a bunch of stuff that has to come out. And we are literally in the process of debating how much work to do to the house before we list it and sell it. This is, what a weird, the timing of this is, that's insane. That's crazy. It's literally this week. He's figuring out what to do with the house. And Harvey's a contractor. or he has been at different points of his life. So this is 9 years ago, and we're doing it now. And the guy who asked the question 9 years later is finally doing a deal. No, I'm joking. We've done other deals together. But the last one we did was an investment property that he owned, and we decided not to do any renovations. So this is, and now we are doing some. So this is really, really interesting to me. Wow. So fun and cool. All right, Harv, this one's for you, buddy. And your mother. So I assess this in a couple of different ways. Here's how I answer that question. You need to look at the current value of your house, the value of the renovation, like how much it's going to cost, and then how much your house is going to be worth after you do your renovation. And now you decide whether or not you're either breaking even or earning money off of the renovation. That can play a big role, but it doesn't mean to say that if you're not making money off of the renovation, that being that your value is increased by the renovation, more money than the renovation itself cost you. So say you have a $250,000.
Easier ways to say that.
$50,000 adding some kind of an extension or something. I'm not saying that your value has to come out to be more than 300 for you to want to stay. I'm just saying that that's if you're a very practical, just dollars and cents person, that's the easiest way to determine whether or not it makes sense for you to renovate and stay. However, it might make a ton of sense for you to renovate and stay and not make more money off of the house and not increase your value more than what you spent on it if, for instance, you're in a particularly nice neighborhood that you absolutely love. Like if all of your best friends are down the street, if you're in a school zone that's perfect for you and you can't find what you're looking for outside that school zone. These are situations in which it's okay not to always profit off of your real estate asset. We should have talked about that. That's something that sort of bothers me. We're so used over the last probably 8 to 10 years of people thinking that you always need to earn money off of real estate. That's not really how it goes, because there's a cost of loving where you live. If you live in a house for 10 years and your equity doesn't increase and you don't profit a bunch of money when you sell, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. It means that there was a cost to your enjoyment of your life in your home for that 10 years. That's fine. Everybody that's only exposed to our local real estate market in the last 8 to 10 years has only ever seen increase in prices. And they think that that's normal. That's not. That's not how it is globally across the world all the time. So it's okay. I'm missing some nuance there. And I think what I'm missing is the fact that at this point in time, we're heavy into a buyer's market. This is post oil price collapse in like the first half of the mid 2010s, kind of 13, 14, 15 in there somewhere. And our new construction has fallen basically off the map. Prices are down, sales are down, like volume, number of transactions, prices are down also. And there's a part of me now, in retrospect, that wonders if that part of me, unbeknownst to himself, I had a hard time with unbeknownst just then, unbeknownst to himself, was trying to make people feel better about the fact that they weren't making any money when they sold their houses. I wonder if I was doing that. I might not have known that I was doing it, but I wonder if I was. I used a 10-year bracket as an example here. If you buy a house and you live there for 10 years, and when you sell, you don't make a bunch of money, that's not a big deal. And that's true. It's not a big deal because let's say you had to rent and it cost you $2,500 a month to rent and you were there for 10 years, then you didn't have to pay any of that. And when you broke even when you sold, then did you make money? I would argue you kind of did. You might not walk away with a boatload of cash, but you lived for free for 10 years. So like you did make money. So I think I'm missing nuance in the way that I said it. But over time, real estate globally does go up, like over time, just like the stock market in general. Sure, it goes down, but it goes down here. it goes up here. It's just the down is a part of a larger up, if that makes sense, right? So anyway, let's get back to this. But I did want to point that out because I'm wondering if whether I knew it or not, I was trying to create a case that people should sell their houses and not walk away with a boatload of money. Maybe I was. It doesn't mean that it was a bad thing to do because it is true. So yeah, thought that interesting. And my phone's ringing. For you not to earn money off of your house. The value in owning a house versus renting is more that you're taking your rent out of one of your pockets and putting it into your other pocket as opposed to your landlord's pocket. So, went on a bit of a tangent there. Very quickly, as a recap, how do you know if you should renovate and stay versus sell? If you're strictly a dollar and cents person, is the value of your house going to be increased by more than how much the renovation cost? Otherwise, the renovation was not financially beneficial to you and your net worth. And secondly, if there's so much value in your neighborhood that losing money on your renovation, so you're not getting back what you paid to do your renovation, if the value of your neighborhood is so high that it's worth that, then yes, you should stay. Because you love your neighborhood, and you should love your neighborhood. There's a lot of beautiful neighborhoods out there, and I think that's kind of all that we have to do. Unless we're... Okay, so to tag that sort of, when I'm saying the value of your neighborhood, I don't mean how much the neighborhood costs to live in. Okay, I can't not take. I have to take. This is too many in a row. That was a very important call, and it took longer than expected. So let me get reset here and see where we are. My apologies, friends. A lot of beautiful neighborhoods out there, and I think that's kind of all that we have to do. Unless we're live and somebody wants to... Brad. Oh yeah, I was talking about the value of a neighborhood. It's not in whether or not it increases the monetary value of your property because of the neighborhood it's in. That's a very real thing, of course. Like Joe's neighborhood, for instance. Rough. No, that's not true. It's a really nice neighborhood. It's a quiet, one-way street. What are you doing? Anyway, and it's lovely. But what I was referring to was the value of the neighborhood to you and your uses as a person. How much do you love where you live? Is it worth sacrificing something financial just to be in that neighborhood? Because if that is the case, then that's kind of representative of the value of the neighborhood. That's what I was referring to. It looks like I'm cluing this up. So let's see. I have a question. What tools does Joe use? I can't do this. What tools does Joe use to keep his head so fresh and clean? It's like a cue ball. Do you have any answers, Joe? Laser scalpel. Brad? Laser scalpel. And you're not far off bald yourself, boss, so I wouldn't get too excited there. I think that's kind of it. Episode 27 in the books. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I need a catchphrase. I don't have one. What's a good catchphrase? Keep your stick on the ice and keep reaching for the stars. Is that what Casey Kasem used to say? Yeah, I guess we're done then. Are we done? I don't think he said stick on the ice, but he did say keep reaching for the stars. And you are pretty bald. Now, speaking of resources you can trust, here's a couple. There's definitely got to be a post-credit here, for sure. And we also need to change this. I mean, these guys are great, but it's not who I use. No, nothing. However, your autoplay brings up stuff about Hinduism, and what is happening? Seriously, went off the rails. Okay, stop. Where did this come from? And my coffee. Okay, I don't know what happened. Yes. So Harvey, I missed something in that. Renovate and stay or sell. Yes. But sometimes you renovate and sell without the intention of selling for more money. Sometimes your property is in a condition such that it won't present well to the current market and what people are looking for. In which case, you can get it market ready. And maybe that doesn't qualify as a renovation, but if you've got like the kids' playroom and the carpet that's been there since they were children and now they've moved out of the home, and all of the stains from their juice when they were toddlers is still in that carpet, then maybe hauling that carpet up and spending $500 on some waterproof laminate to put down instead is a good idea. Are you going to sell the house for more money because you did it? Probably not. But if you don't do it, are you going to sell the house at all? So it's not always about getting more money. It's about removing the gaps in the buyer's knowledge about the property. Because if there are gaps in the buyer's knowledge about your property, like where did these stains come from? What's that crack from? Like, why is this floor like bubbled here? If those gaps are in their knowledge, they will fill them themselves, and they will fill them with the worst case scenario. So that apple juice stain on the carpet is a farm where you bred rats for years, and that's a rat pee stain. And that's the kind of stuff that people will like. That's the extrapolation that we'll get here. That's how that'll go. And it is not what you're looking for. So do you renovate and stay, or do you sell? I'm going to put a way faster kind of shortcut into this one. Choose the neighborhood, not the house. That's it. And if you want to be in your neighborhood, renovate your house. If you don't want to be in the neighborhood, sell your house. That's it. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. That was like a 20-minute episode. We could have done it in 15 seconds. Obviously, there's more to it. Maybe in another 10 years, I'll tell you how wrong I was again. And if not, well, geez, if so, I mean, if I'm still doing this, oh God, now I'm getting depressed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.